Home sales rose in July for the first time in 5 months. This is from CNBC. This is interesting because, so you have Lawrence Yun, who is the NAR chief economist, okay? So National Association Realtor, who, by the way, August had this massive change with the rules to buyer's agents and how you can not advertise the commission that's offered on the sale inside MLS and all the other associated rule changes that have happened. He's saying that consumers are seeing more choices and affordability is improving. Do you think that it's improving enough and that they're getting enough choices?
More choices I have seen.
Okay.
Affordability, not so much.
Okay.
The reason being is because I feel that the houses that do get priced lower automatically get a high influx of people that want to go see it.
Sure.
Therefore, running up the price again because they say, hey, that's the lowest price in this neighborhood. Everything else is a little bit higher. But what ends up happening is that same demand brings the house to what it was, at market price.
Yeah.
So I don't think necessarily it's, more affordable, but you are seeing more options. Like I had a client that was only sending us a few houses, previous, maybe like back in May.
Yeah.
Now she's sending us like a list of homes that she wants to go see in the area that she's looking for. She's looking for a very specific area in Lemon Grove, La Mesa, Spring Valley, the area, the latest. So before she was only seeing a few things pop up. Now there's multiple houses that she's sending, which I find very interesting because from what we had her on a search to now, there's a lot more inventory in that specific area.
So inventory in general is up. And I'm going to quote this directly because I want to make sure it's said accurately. At the end of the month, so say at the end of the month of July 2024, there were 1.33 million homes on the market, which is an increase of 0.8% from June and 19.8% higher than 1 year ago, July 2023.
Definitely.
So I remember coming into the end of 2023 and into the beginning of 2024. It was like inventory's coming, inventory's on the way, and the reason was because rates are higher, right? So this was the argument on that side of the coin of, when rates go higher, inventory shows up. And now they're kind of saying, hey, rates are lower, inventory will show up. But this is...
The next time it's going to be, inventory, please just show up.
Inventory show up, yeah, just please, no matter what the reason. But this is actually living proof of that point, okay? Mortgage rates were higher. We did not see the spring and summer that I thought we were going to have as far as volume of sales were concerned. We certainly have the increase of number of homes on the market.
Definitely better than last year, just not as what we...
Which is good. And this is going to be soft/hard prediction early on the show. By the time we get to the winter of 24, we're going to look back and see all these July listings and a really high fall closing ratio.
So that's exactly
all these listings
what I'm in line with.
Closings.
I honestly, that's what I'm predicting just because of what I've been seeing in the market. I feel summer was a lot quieter than what we expected, although it was better than last year. Last year was just a mess because of rates being on the upside. But I really think that this fall and winter is going to be a lot different, and I think it's going to be like what we missed in summer and spring.
I believe that this 19.8% change from July of 23 to July 24 is also going to be representative, maybe a little bit less aggressiveness in August and even in September. I just think that because people are starting to see this chatter with the Fed, they're seeing mortgage rates change, they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to say it this way. The hard part is over, even though the hard part may not be over. They're going to feel like maybe the hard part's over and this inventory has to go somewhere. Because we have so much pent-up demand and we've been lacking inventory, I believe that this massive uptick of listings compared to last year are all going to get absorbed. They're all going to close and sell. You might have some fallout. Of course, there's always fallout in escrows. But I'm saying 19.8%, even if 18% of the 19% close, that's going to make the fall number for closings look way different than it was in 2023.
Yeah, because that's a huge spike up in inventory. I mean, just in the last year.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's all like kind of waterfall. Like what happened? You list the house, it gets into escrow, and it closes. So
it closes like 2-3 months later down the line, depending on.
I think August closings and September closings are going to look really high when we finally get those CoreLogic numbers and Altus Research numbers, like in November, that look back at August and September. You're going to see a representative uptick of closings because of this really high increase of listings in July. So supply of homes is right now around 4 month supply, plus or minus about a half a month, in my opinion. It's a little bit lower than it was in June. A lot of that's just been absorbed. Those aren't just cancellations. And the median price is up. So here we are once again talking about median prices up. But I also saw somewhere else that in a different time window, median price is down. So I don't know which one is actually correct. I think it's just in the time window they were surveyed to come up with this. I think in this article, it's up because it says up by 4.2% year over year. So yeah, in this article, the window they're looking back at is saying that we're up 4.2% 2% year over year. There was a different one I was looking at. This is actually down by like 1.5%. But I'll come back to that later. So
all I have to say is market crashers try again next cycle.
Dang, dude. You know, I did read it. I was forwarded something by a friend on Wednesday, and I have to reread it to digest the theory. The theory in writing makes sense on why one would forecast that, but there's the psychological consumer buyer element that's vastly missing from the article's argument that is driving what we're experiencing right now. Like, it doesn't make any sense to refinance right now if you already have a 3%, but circumstances are causing people to do that, right? It may not make sense to buy a house for $250,000 above its list price, but if it has a large yard and you can add 2 or 3 ADUs and build a second story and create $10,000 of cash flow, well, that's going to make up over the course of time. So some of those rationales may not seem rational to those of you watching, and it was missing broadly from this article. But when you consider those things, I understand what the article's saying.
Yeah.
Sure, impending doom ahead, impending crash, but it's like, okay, but on what leg? What leg of the table is going to fall out? Something has to fall out to cause the crash. And right now, it's not delinquencies yet. It's not defaults. We don't see like a massive increase of foreclosures. If you're going to point at unemployment, that will eventually have to lead to that. But that has a 6, 9, 12-month life cycle. That may not be till 25 or 26 that you see any of that start happening.
And then even for the, let's say, foreclosure or, stuff like that, you could sell your house.
That was my thing. That was my thing, because we about a month or a half ago, I think we talked about,
because either way the way you do it, you lose your job, you could sell your house if you own a house. If
you have equity, you
could still sell and walk away. And I'm sorry, you have to restart, but at least you could wash your hands and walk away.
Yeah, and then one of the nerd articles I brought, I think it was in July. It might have been in July, or maybe it was the end of June. I brought, and we were talking about the percentage of homes that are upside down, and it was like barely any. Again, that's like that thing where, like, again, I understand the shouting from the rooftop, everything's going to crash, and I understand that, but the market components aren't playing along with that theory right now.
And I feel like if you want to compare it to 2008, there was so much more holes in that boat than there is in this one. They're not comparative. Like, this is a different boat, but we're in a different type of water that we can't control. But this boat is a different story.
That was a whole different.
And the point I'm trying to make is you can't compare it because it's just too different. There's a lot too many stuff that is going a lot different than what was happening back then. So I just feel that it doesn't even compare.
Yeah, they're not the same. I think we just need to let it rest that they're not the same.
Yeah.
But sorry everybody. You made the point really quickly at the top of this rant. You're like, sorry haters. Sorry.
Let me know in the comments. I'll be answering comments all week.
Every single one of you in the comments. It's Brian this week, and I'm going to make him do it, actually. I'm not doing it.